Hasan Piker is Twitch's biggest star, and that's a fact. But what happens instead of being held accountable? He gets rewarded by Twitch. Birthday parties, celebrations, promoted to the front page, paid trips to things like VidCon, you name it. He is literally their moneymaker, and no matter how many calls to violent action he gives his audience, they don't do anything about it. Twitch needs to ban this guy. Watch some of the crazy stuff. I'm sure you've seen this floating around, but just in case you haven't, this is just an inkling, a small percentage of some of the crazy stuff he says.
You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage.
You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and just letting their intestines ride out onto stage. Imagine if a right-winger said, we need to shank left-wing influencers and let their guts hang out. Why do these people claim that right-wingers are full of hate? And again, he has millions of people watching him that get influenced. This right here has it nailed on the head. Hasan has used his massive platform to call for violence for years, and he gets untouched by Twitch. I've seen people get banned for less on Twitch. For less on Twitch. That have nothing to do with violence, nothing to do with hate. Twitch does nothing.
Slice them and fucking dice them.
Slice them and fucking dice them, guys.
What the fuck is this?
Look at this.
Letting their intestines just ride on stage.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry.
Oh yeah, in a video game. That's the little shield / joke. Like in Minecraft that they say, like, kill someone in Minecraft. These people will blame everybody like Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, even people like Smash JT or Hypnotic, myself, you name it. They will blame anybody that's even remotely right-wing or even sometimes centrist of warping their audience's mind, influencing them to have some kind of brain-rotted infection to where they're hateful towards people, when literally one of the top figureheads of the progressive left-wing audience, an influencer the size of Hasan, literally spews nonsense like this, guys.
Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
Let the streets soak in the red capitalist blood. Is this not hateful? Is this not violent? Twitch, what are you doing? Why is Hasan not banned? Hasan Piker uses Amazon-owned Twitch.tv to call for violence against elected officials. So remember this? Remember this gem right here?
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Kill Rick Scott.
I'm gonna kill.
If you care about Medicare fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, who's a senator, asking his audience, basically, in a way, using coded language to encourage somebody to kill a politician. Interesting. Look at all these other stuff that he's saying.
My AR-15. Like,
that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning.
Yeah, they're laughing about terroristic threats and how effective they are. Where they're making politicians resign and people scared. They're the ones actually being terrorists, even though they claim anybody remotely right-wing is hateful and violent.
Like, he's literally, this is his last term. You actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, someone has to do it.
Someone has to do it. And that's literally a euphemism for killing President Trump. That's the one thing that they want to happen, right? They're gloating and they're happy and they're mocking Charlie Kirk. And even though Hasan tried to act concerned about it when he watched the video, when he reacted to the actual assassination, the only reason why he would even be possibly scared is because he knows consequences are catching up to him, that there's a chance that he might actually be banned by Twitch. I'm not going to hold my breath for it, but there's a chance that he could be held accountable for encouraging his audience.
See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean.
You see that?
Which is, I think that shows that there is a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential.
Untapped potential when it comes to a euphemism for shooting the president. Untapped potential, guys.
Untapped revolutionary potential.
Untapped revolutionary potential. That's literally encouraging your audience, giving them some kind of delusions of grandeur that they would have revolutionary potential if they murder somebody in cold blood because they're right wing. And this guy's not banned. Can somebody explain that? Yeah, the CEO is in love with this dude.
Not a gamer himself, Clancy mostly watches musicians or talk shows on Twitch. He particularly enjoys leftist political commentator Hasan Piker, who has 2.5 million followers on the platform. I like the frankness and the bluntness, Clancy said. He's comfortable saying what he believes.
So the CEO literally says they like the frankness and bluntness, is comfortable saying what he believes. So the CEO of Twitch is okay with violent left-wing rhetoric, right? But if you dare say anything remotely right-wing or against left-wingers on Twitch, you'll get banned. I've seen people actually talk about the Bible on Twitch and get banned. Somebody make it make sense why Hasan has not been banned by Twitch. And I know there's going to be left-wingers, oh, well, it's freedom of speech. Aren't you a free speech warrior? Now you're part of the cancel culture. No, we're part of consequence culture, all right? And freedom of speech doesn't include calls for violence. Violent rhetoric is not protected under freedom of speech. That's legitimately harmful and hateful speech there. These guys like to throw hate speech out there when you say something they don't like. This is not protected. This is something that is clearly against TOS that has to be taken care of. Yeah, demand the dismissal of the Twitch CEO and the executive trust and safety team. Hasan Piker must be permanently banned. And you know what? I typically wouldn't ever try to push for this, but after recent events, absolutely push the banning of Hasan Piker. Twitch needs to ban Hasan Piker, like yesterday. Now, after this sad, tragic event of Charlie Kirk being assassinated in broad daylight in front of thousands of people, in front of his wife and kids, he draws huge audiences on Twitch, and he's repeatedly advocating for violence against political opponents in it. Some of the language is graphic, guys. Some of the chat responses that you can see on screen are also literally cheering Hasan's comments, and there's unconfirmed reports as of right now that the person that was responsible for Charlie Kirk's murder was a frequent viewer of Hasan. Now, that's all alleged, unconfirmed, but it's troubling enough that we could not treat this as just words anymore. This isn't edgy humor. This isn't political theater, guys. This is explicit instruction. It's celebration of violence, and it's delivered to a live audience. They always want to push right-wingers as the hateful people that need to be responsible for encouraging their audience, that we have young, impressionable 20-year-old guys that are getting brain rotted with hateful rhetoric, yet somehow they turn a blind eye to this, right? This is exactly what they accuse of right-wingers of. These are hateful, violent messages delivered to a live audience. Many of the audience that Hasan has are actually young and impressionable. They're college kids, like the shooter, like the kids that were actually at the University of Utah where Charlie Kirk was murdered at. This is the heart of the danger here, guys. The combination of violent rhetoric being spewed by him, plus an enthusiastic audience who's being taught Orange Man bad. It's literally recruiting. This is literally like a recruitment compilation here. And I know there's people, oh, well, why should we care? We're just here for gaming. Can't we just talk about gaming? Because this is how speech becomes action, guys. This affects all of us. Saying gut them on a live stream isn't confined to a live stream. It spreads to chat. It spreads to DMs. It spreads to forums, discords, where lonely, unstable people look for purpose, and it radicalizes impressionable young people, and it normalizes this train of thinking. Okay, they can't establish internet from reality anymore when they constantly hear somebody like Hasan say stuff like this, and they try to pin that on the right-wingers constantly. It's almost like a pot meets kettle type of situation. And once somebody crosses from online rage, being angry online, to offline violence, there's no undo button. If a streamer is repeatedly advocating for violence, the way Hasan's doing, or they're celebrating murder or inciting people, the platform has the power to enforce rules, whether it's suspending them, banning them, demonetizing them. But the enforcement is uneven, especially on Twitch, guys. They're playing favorites, especially in regards to Hasan. And lots of people are starting to call it out, which is amazing at this point. Like I said, consequence culture triumphs over cancel culture. But keeping him on is literally not enforcing standards, community standards. And it's literally them showing that they have no moral compass as a corporation. Like, Amazon owns Twitch, and they're letting this guy thrive on there when he needs to be banned. People will say, oh, he's just satiring, he's just joking around, it's just words, deplatforming is censorship. Context fucking matters, right? When an audience applauds violent instructions, it stops being satire. Okay, it's no longer a joke. And then free speech, like I said, has limits. When free speech is a clear and present danger, it's no longer free speech. It's like yelling fire in a crowded theater. That's not free speech, right? Encouraging targeted violence is not either. And every example that we saw in this is exactly that. It's literally encouraging violence. And you know what? It's not all solely his responsibility, guys. We need better mental health resources overall. We need better pathways for people to get help. And we need creators that insist people get help. We need people that are willing to say, hey, guys, work on your mental health, take a break from the internet. This is not real life. And we need creators that are responsible with their audiences across the whole entire political spectrum, okay? Violent language is unacceptable, period. Creators, no matter how big or small you are, you have responsibility, okay? You have influence and responsibility. You need to be accountable. So here's my call to action. If you care about this, you need to do these 3 things right now. You need to report clearly violent clips and comments to the platform using their tools. Don't go cancel culture mob. Actually use the reporting tools that YouTube and Twitch and Twitter, Instagram all have, okay? Go through the report process. Submit everything you can. Share facts. Be polite. Don't cuss at the people that are support. Don't say, YouTube, get your fucking shit together. No hysteria, guys. Post verified clips and call for accountability. Push for transparency. Ask the platform publicly. Tag at Team YouTube. And be professional, right? Tweet, reply, support tickets, everything that can leave a paper trail, guys, because it helps to be transparent. We most definitely should be angry about this situation. We most definitely should be angry about Hasan having favoritism on Twitch. But anger needs organization. It needs direction, guys. The goal is not to silence opposing views. It's to stop people from being told that violence is the answer. And Hasan is literally telling people violence is the answer here, guys. We can protect free speech and stop real world harm. It starts with platforms taking responsibility and creators with large audiences using their megaphones responsibly. And I'm not seeing that out of Hasan. And that's my humble opinion. And it looks like the internet is also backing me up on that.